Welcome once again to Small Business 101. I'm very glad that you all registered and you decided to join me. I know that this time is going to be a very insightful time. I'm pretty sure that you're not going to feel like you've wasted your time, right? Because this was something that was carefully thought out, and one thing that I try to avoid is to that people already know or that people can always just Google or chat GPT and find out. I want to make sure that for every time that I'm sharing something, right, it's from experience, it's from insight, it's from things that have been proven over time. I'm excited that you guys are here. So this is me saying I'm very, very glad to have you here. I know that the time that you spend here will definitely not be wasted time. So we're going straight into the class. I'm calling this a class or into the workshop, right? And of course, I'm going to start by introducing myself. I know that many of you that are here already know who I am, right? But let's just act like you don't know me. So my name is Faith Inaku. I prefer people calling me Omimi because most of the times when I tell people my name is Faith, what happens is the next time they meet me, they are calling Glory or Grace or Victoria or Hope, all of those names in the Bible, right? So I try to avoid that and let people. I'd rather tell people that my name is Omimi. If you are wondering, Omimi means faith in my local dialect. I'm from Benue State. I'm a brand and communications personnel. I've been in the marketing world for about 7 going to 8 years now. I am also a content creator. I have a YouTube channel. I'm a YouTuber. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about faith and lifestyle, really anything that concerns loving God and young people. And another thing that I want you guys to know about me is that I am very, very ecstatic. I'm very, very particular about small businesses. I'm surrounded by a lot of small businesses. My mother is a small business owner. My sister is a small business owner. I have many of my friends are small business owners. And so I'm very particular about small businesses because I personally believe that the big businesses that we see today were once small businesses, and so it took them, a lot of time. It took them a whole journey to get to where they are right now. And for small businesses, with the right guidance, with the right tools, they can get to where those small big businesses are right now. And so I'm a small business enthusiast. And yeah, next slide. So, some interesting facts about small businesses. I believe that everybody that is here is either a small business owner or you know someone that owns a small business. So, I want to share some facts about small businesses that are very, very interesting and mind blowing. The first fact that I want you to know, so we've always been hearing that, 50% of small businesses fail within the first year, 95% they close shop by the fifth year. But the actual truth is that that's not true. 70% of small businesses, right, remain for at least 2 years. That means that if there are 10 business owners on this live right now, right, there's a high probability that seven of those business owners will still be in business in 2026, right? There's even there's another probability that um that five out of that 10 business will still be around in 5 years, right? And there's also a probability that about three out of the 10 businesses will still be in existence in 10 years time, right? So the opinion that small businesses don't last, small businesses, if you start in 3 months is over, is totally wrong. 70% of small businesses remain in operation for at least 2 years. And I'm praying that for as many of us who are small business owners here, we are building businesses that will last in Jesus' name. Amen. Another interesting fact I want you to know today is that in the US, small businesses are responsible for creating 8.7 million new jobs between March 2020 and March 2021. 8.7. I find this fascinating is because that period, that 1 year gap, March 2020 to March 2021, that was actually COVID season. That was COVID period. So it means that when COVID was busy battering the economy and you know making people feel like, oh, there's nothing again after this life, businesses were being created and people were getting jobs. So within 1 year, small businesses like yours were able to create 8.7 million new jobs between March 2020 and March 2021. I think that that's very fascinating. I think that that's very interesting to know. SMEs are major employers in Nigeria. Small and medium enterprises are major employers in Nigeria. They provide jobs for a large percentage of the workforce. The Nigerian Bureau of Statistics also reports that SMEs employ over 84% of the labor force. This means that you, as a small business owner, you literally have the future of Nigeria in your hands. Because if currently small businesses like yours is giving employment to over 84% of people in the labor market, that's a very, very huge gap. It means that only about 16% of the people in labor market are being employed by big organizations. And then lastly, the NBS reported that SMEs contribute over 48% to Nigeria's GDP. So Nigeria's profitability is on your shoulder as a small business, right? It means that a huge percentage of the money that Nigeria makes is actually coming from businesses like yours. The statistics reflect the significant economic impact of small and medium-sized enterprises in the country. I said all of this so that you can understand that even though your small business, to you it might just be something that you use to keep body and soul together, your small business is actually important for the world. It's actually important for the country where you reside. It's important to the nation, because from you jobs will come. From you employment, right, will come. From you the country's GDP will keep growing, right? So now that we have that out of the way, let's go straight into why we are here. Remember, I said that we were going to touch on four major things. The first one being, differentiating your business in a saturated market. The second one being branding. The third one being finding your own users, and then the fourth one being the art rather of content creation. So let's go right into it. The first slide, differentiating your business in a saturated market. A market that has many sellers is a saturated market. A market with SMEs that offer the same or similar products or services is actually a saturated market. So, like I mentioned earlier, I don't want to come here and give you guys theory. I'm going to be giving you guys very, very, very practical things that you can start using immediately in your business, right? And so the first tip that I'm going to give you on this call today is your UVP. So the first step to differentiating your business in a saturated market is understanding your UVP, or rather defining your UVP. Now, what is a saturated market? I stated here, in a saturated, there are numerous products or services. There are numerous similar products or services. So a saturated market is a market where there are numerous similar products or services. It means that there are different people selling the same thing. That's what a saturated market is. So just the way you go to a Bariga market, for example, and you go there and you see this woman, this one tomato, everybody on that line is selling tomato, or tomatoes rather, or everybody on that line is selling fish. That's what a saturated market is. And so the number one way to make sure that even though you are in a saturated market, you are selling clothes like every other person is selling clothes, or you are a fashion designer like every other person is a fashion designer. one of the ways that you can differentiate your business in that kind of market is to define your UVP. And I've written here that UVP means unique value proposition, right? So understanding your UVP, your unique value proposition. Your UVP is basically, in layman terms, what makes you special. What's that thing that you are offering me that would make me leave every other tomato seller on that line and come and get my tomatoes from you? What are you doing different that would make me forget my trusted dry cleaner to follow you? What exactly is your competitive advantage? What makes you different from every other business? This business that you have decided to start, what gap did you see that made you say, okay, this is the gap in this space, and my business was created to fill that gap? So the first way that you can differentiate your business, you can make your business stand out, is by defining your unique value proposition, the thing that makes you different from every other person. And if you think deeply about it, I believe that sometimes one thing I see that many small business owners do that is wrong is that they just start business for the sake of starting business, right? Because the economy is epileptic right now. The wisest thing now is to start business. Yes, it might be the wisest thing to start a business, but it doesn't change the fact that you can start a business today, and because it was not properly thought out, that business might not last, right? And that's why we must be intentional about it, because you want to build a business that lasts. You don't want to build a business where you just make 10K today, 10K tomorrow, and that's it. You want to build something that would constantly and continuously give you profit, something that might even, I dare say, help you retire early from your 9 to 5, if you have a 9 to 5. So define your UVP. So that's the first step to differentiating your business in a saturated market. Understand your UVP. Understand what makes you different. Understand what makes you unique. Understand what your advantage is as a business. Now, I know that I've been talking about UVP, 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 UVP. So how else do we how can you define what your UVP is? Remember, I said it earlier that this class is not just a I don't want it to be a theory class. I want it to be a practical class. So one thing I would appreciate that you do for me now is, as we are having this discussion, if you are with your notepads, put your notepad beside you. I have my notepad beside me here, right? And I'm going to be writing. So the first thing about defining your UVP is understanding your audience. You need to understand your audience. I know that we have heard this line before several times. Understand your audience, know who you are selling to, know who this, know who that, know who this. But I want you to know today that everything that you know about understanding your audience, they are not wrong. But for the sake of this meeting, I want you to keep them by the side and listen to what I'm about to tell you. Understanding your audience goes beyond knowing the people that you want to sell to. Understanding your audience goes beyond knowing the people that you want to sell to. It stretches up to knowing their pain points, knowing their needs, and knowing their preferences, right? I'll repeat it again. It stretches up to knowing their pain points. What is it that makes them troubled? What's that thing that is pinching them? It stretches to knowing their needs. What do they need right now? Remember, I didn't say want. What do they need right now as a business? Some of the times, people actually don't know what they need. They know what they want, but they don't know what they need. So understanding your audience means that you know what their pain point is, you know what they need, and then lastly, you know their preference. So if I, as a fashion designer, want to understand my audience, one of the things I would do is, like I've said, I'll go out and I'll take a survey, right? I'll ask somebody, do you have a tailor? Do you have a fashion designer that you use? The person says yes. I'm like, okay, great, cool. Has your fashion designer or has your tailor ever disappointed you before? The person says yes. Okay. What exactly did they do wrong? The person starts to list all of the problems that the person has, or the person has faced with their tailor. From there, what you are doing is the person is indirectly telling you something that pains them, because if I don't have a problem with it, I wouldn't have mentioned it in the first place, right? So you are putting yourself out there and getting to a place where you are putting yourself in the head of your customers. You want to know, or no, in the head of your potential customers. You want to know what they are thinking, and you want to think like them. So when you are able to identify what the problem is, it becomes easier for you to write messages that appeals to them. When you are able to identify what the problem is that your potential audience is facing, it becomes very easy for you to pass your message across to them. So if myself as a fashion designer, I find out after I take my survey that people's problems with tailor is that their tailors never deliver on time, one of the things I would do is that when I am passing my own message and trying to let them know that you can come and use my services, I will make sure that I let them know that my service is fast, right? I will give you your materials, or I will give you your clothes exactly the way you want them in good time. I'm giving you with speed, right? So that's what understanding your audience helps you do. It helps you know how to properly message your business or properly market your business. Another thing you need to do to in order to define your unique value proposition is to carry out a competitor analysis. Who are the people making this market saturated? You need to find it out. Who are these people that are selling tomatoes in this same place that I have decided to sell tomatoes? I'm a baker. Who are these other bakers on this Instagram street that are making me not get customers on time? Why? What are they doing differently? The reason why you are doing this analysis is not because you want to copy them. Oh. Let me tell you why you are doing this analysis. You are doing this analysis because, number one, you want to know what their strengths are. You want to know what their weaknesses are, number two, so that you can see opportunities for yourself. How are they speaking to their clients? How are they speaking to their customers? What makes them so special? Why do people patronize them, right? And let me put this caveat here. For some of us, for some of our businesses, right, it might not be enough for you to just understudy these guys online. Some of you might have to go as far as patronizing your competitors. I know it doesn't sound palatable. I know that it doesn't sound sweet to the ears, but yes, you have to do what is needed for your business, right? Anyhow, anywhere. You have to make sure that you are treating your business very specially. So if it means that you have to go and patronize your competitors, please go ahead and do it. You are doing this not because you're not doing this because you want to boost their bottom line or give them more revenue. Remember, you are doing this because you want to study them and see what makes them different rather. So if you are offering a service, now I'm speaking to people that offer services. If you're not selling something, if you're not selling a product, a physical product, maybe what you do, like the person who says is running a like the person who says is running a software agency, right? If you are doing something like that that's not tangible, you want to engage the services of those people. I know it might be expensive, but you can just go for like the cheapest thing that you can find out what's their response time. How fast are they? Do they answer their clients on time? Go on Instagram, the baker. You do that, fantastic. It's good that you do that already. The baker, the fashion designer, go on IG. I want cupcakes, right? What's the time? What's their response time on Instagram? How long does it take for them to respond? How long did it take for them to get your order? Did they tell you that you have to place your order 48 hours ahead? If that's what they do, then it means that you have a leeway, because it means that these guys, they take 48 orders. Is it possible for me to be able to make sure that my own cupcakes are ready in, let's say, 24 hours or even less? Is it possible for me to do it in a way that if somebody places an order today, they can get it first thing tomorrow morning? That is why you are analyzing your competitors, because you want to see the loopholes that they have and that you can ride on. Number three, how do you define your UVP? Focus on benefits, not just features. Oh, I love this one so much, because even me, I just learned this one. Now, a lot of one thing that we business owners do is that when they want to sell, they'll tell you, oh, what can I use for example? Let's say somebody does delivery service. They'll tell you, ah, my delivery is very fast. Get your goods to your customers in 2 hours or in 3 hours. Um, my drivers are neat. My drivers, they will not eat your food on the road. You are sure that your food will get to your customers. My drivers are educated. They are not illiterate. All of those things are good. But you know what? Those things are features, right? Those things are the things that you will see with the thing. They are things that you can that are they are tangible. You might not be able to get to your customers that way. Let me show you a better way. Focus on benefits. I'll explain what benefits are with a story I just recently heard. So back in the early 2000s, right? Um, you guys know there were Walkmans. You know Walkmans now that they will put CD inside, and people would listen to music on their Walkmans with that earpiece that is connected. You'll be holding something. Can you imagine? There was a time where we used to hold something to listen to something, right? So back then, right, people thought that that was the highest level of innovation, right? We had Walkmans, and then we had Nokia Express Music. You guys remember now that you could just be playing your songs back to back like that. So Apple, Apple had a new product that they wanted to put out in the market, right? So Apple had iPod, and iPod was going to be a groundbreaking innovation. The iPod that they were coming out with, remember in those days, 500 MB was like a big deal. In back then, now, if you want to buy data, 50 MB like this, you're a rich girl. 10 MB, you're a big bro, big boy. So back then, it was a big deal to have 100 MB, to have 150 MB. So Apple brought out iPod, and they were looking for how to sell iPods. And the thing about the iPod they were bringing out was that it was a fantastic innovation, because it was a fantastic innovation because it was not just 100 MB or 200 MB. They were coming out with iPod that was 5 gig. So imagine people who had never imagined 1 gig before, who had never imagined 600 gig before, all of a sudden receiving an innovation that was going to be 5 gig. Wow. The thing about it is that people did not understand what gig was. All they wanted was a device they could play their music. And then Apple thought of something. Apple changed their messaging. What they did was this: they said, Apple iPods. Now you can have 1,000 songs in your pocket. Remember, people did not understand what gig was, right? Because it was unfathomable, like, understand, it was too big, it was too vague for them to understand gig, right? So Apple said, you know what, these people might not understand this fantastic feature that we have brought out for them. Let's sell it as a benefit to them. So it means that now you don't have to be walking up and down with your Walkman. You now be pressing, you now be looking for another CD to put when the first CD has finished. Maybe only 10 songs are inside. You now be, it means that now on your iPod, one device, you can have 1,000 songs there straight. And Apple, that was their message: 1,000 songs in your pocket. Guess what? The product that they were not selling, they started selling out immediately. Why? Because they focused on selling benefits and not just features. On selling benefits and not just features. It's not about the product. It's not about what you are selling. It's not about your clothes. It's not about the design. It's about how what you are doing makes your customers feel, right? So instead of selling your product, sell the feeling that comes with your product. So people that wear clothes from my boutique, how do they feel? When people wear clothes from my shop, do they feel, is their confidence boosted, right? So you can now say, instead of saying, oh, come and buy clothes from me, the clothes are beautiful. No, what you will tell them is, my clothes bring out the confident woman in you, or my clothes bring out the confident man in you. My clothes help you with your esteem. My clothes bring out your beauty. So don't sell features to people. Sell benefits all the time. Sell benefits to people. Number four, time is really fast spent. Number four, identify your strengths. Pick up something that you do so well and emphasize it. Make it larger than life. See, if one of the biggest things about your business is that you are you are fast, make your messaging sound like you are the fastest person on the surface of the earth. Make your messaging sound like you are faster than Usain Bolt. That if they give you now and you do like this, you've already brought clothes back. Make your services larger than life. Focus on your strength. Focus on your strength. Focus on what makes you stand out as a business and dwell on it. It's your business. Nobody's going to take it away from you. Dwell on it. The fifth point, adapt and evolve. I see many businesses don't know how to do this, right? We've gotten to an age where technology is everybody's looking for how to make things faster for themselves. Let's start with that. Nobody wants slow service. If I want it, I'll order it online, right? So you need to make sure that your business grows to a point where you are adapting to change, right? Let me use the perfect example. Chowdeck. I really, really love what Chowdeck did. Chowdeck and Gokada. When Chowdeck and Gokada started with their food delivery services, everybody was using bikes and all of that. Immediately, fuel prices went up. They started using bicycles. I just remembered something. One day I ordered food in the office. The guy that brought my food, Chinekeme, if you guys see the way that guy was sweating, you know that this one has really. He now told me that my office is at Bagada. He told me that he had ridden his bicycle all the way from Ketu to Bagada to deliver my food. So I just told the guy that I've Kuku helped you. You've lost calories and you have come down to this place, but that's by the side. So Chowdeg, Gokada, they were able to adapt their business in such a way that yes, fuel is now more expensive. We need to find an economical way to continue this business. And they moved to bicycles and it's working well for them because their delivery time is still very okay. So the last point under defining your UVP is identify your why, your where, your how. Your why, your where, your how. This one, you guys, it touches my heart because before you start any business, right, you need to understand why you are even doing it in the first place. That's what is going to make you stay in that business. That's what's going to sustain you in that business. Even though money is a good motivation for starting your business, I don't recommend money being the only motivation for starting your business because what this means is that if you have gotten money to a certain level, you would most likely drop out of that market. Then what will happen to people's trust that you have gotten over time? Right? So you need to identify your why. Why am I doing this in the first place? Why should I what value am I bringing to people? Why is this business coming from me? And I've noticed something that the people who are very passionate about their business are the ones that actually stay longer in business because they are not just doing it for profit's sake. They are doing it because they enjoy it. They are doing it because they want to add value also. So branding. Ha. Okay, let's go to branding. So what is branding, right? Um I wrote here that branding is creating a unique identity for your product, service, or business, right? It's creating a unique identity for your product, service, or business. You know, people make a particular mistake. Small businesses make a particular mistake, and when they hear brand, most of the time people just assume branding is, you know, just your name and your logo in one place, um your logo, your typography, your font color, your brand color, and all of that. Even though all of those things are elements of branding, they are not all there is to branding. They are not all there is to branding. And so I I will just touch on some really basic things on branding and some hacks that you can use for branding. So what are branding elements? What are the things that branding comprises of? Number one, brand identity. Now, your brand identity is where your logo, your color, your what again? What again? Your typography, that's the kind of font that you use. That's where it comes in. So basically the visuals, what people see when they come to your brand, right? For example, for Apple, what you see on Apple is the apple that they have eaten in one corner, right? That's their logo. You see that is usually these days they do it in silver, they do it in white, they do it, yeah, silver or white, yeah, like that. That's what they do. So you find that that's their branding element. For Nike is the Nike mark, right? So that way when you see them, you know that this is an Apple product, this is a Nike, this is a Samsung. Samsung has that A that doesn't have the middle line. Samsung has that. So when you see something like that, you know that, oh, okay, that's a Samsung product. So that's for brand identity. Anything that people would see. So when people think about your business, when they think about your brand, what identity comes to them? What's your logo? Do you have a logo? What's your color? Do you have a color? What's your um what's your typography? Do you have a particular font that you use for your designs? The thing is, yes, I know that we're a small business, but we need to start learning all of these things so that by the time we start expanding, it will not be too hard. So be consistent. If your color is brown and black, let your color be brown and black. If your color is white and blue, let your color be white and blue. If your font is Poppins, let your font be Poppins. That's for those of us that are online. If your font is Poppins, let it be Poppins. Let's know that it's Poppins that you use all through, right? Don't use Poppins today, Times New Roman tomorrow. Use red today, green tomorrow. Your brand will just confuse people, right? So the second element is brand positioning. Now, what I mean by positioning rather is how you want your business to be positioned in the minds of people. For the baker, do you want your customers to see you as somebody who will always come through whenever they need pastries? For the person that sells clothes, do you want your customers to see you as somebody who, whenever they have an occasion, you are the sure banker? You will always have a nice outfit. Not that today you have a dope outfit, tomorrow your dresses are looking like a third grade clothes. For the tailor, do you want your customers to see you as a brand that whenever they need clothes that will make them stand out at a wedding, you are the go-to person? So your brand positioning is important. For me, let me use an example. There's this place I like to buy cakes from. And the reason why I like to buy cake from them is not because I don't have any other cake plug, but because if I let them know that I want my cake tomorrow and I order it today, they will have it ready for me, right? I know them for that. They have positioned themselves in my mind as the brand that will deliver fast. So if I have any emergency, maybe I didn't see it coming, I didn't plan for it, I know that they are the go-to people for that kind of cakes, right? So your brand positioning, you need to position yourself in a way that your customers know you for a particular thing or more. And then your brand voice. This one, some people have not mastered the art. Some businesses today, you see them, and I'm not shading anybody, they are dancing on Instagram using the latest reel to dance. Tomorrow they are sounding very serious, they're sounding so professional, and you begin to wonder what is the message that they are trying to pass. Like, what exactly is your voice? Are you a friendly brand, or you are a professional brand? Are you people very serious, or you are a playful brand, right? So you need to have a brand voice. Sit down and ask yourself, what's your brand voice? How do I want my customers to see me? How do I want to sound online, offline? And then lastly, brand experience. What do people feel when they patronize you? Do they feel satisfied? Do you take them on a journey? Is it smooth? Do they have any hitches when they use any of your services? Right? I wrote down here that your brand is an extension of you. Wear your brand, smell like your brand, speak your brand, feel like your brand. And when I say these things, I want you to think about the five sense organs, right? So I'm going to move the slide now. Immediately you see it, just tell me the brand that comes to mind in three, 2, 1, go. Right? So I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to come back to this. Let me quickly touch on something before I get to this. Right? So remember, I told you about brand identity and branding elements. I don't know if you guys can see this particular slide clearly. So basically, what this slide is touching on actually is branding elements, right? You see that there are brands that use red, there are brands that use yellow, orange, green, blue, purple, and brown. Colors have a story that they are telling. Colors actually speak, right? So colors are not just colors. There's something that colors are trying to tell people. There are certain colors that paint certain pictures, and we must be careful of how we use colors. So I know that most of you cannot see the slide very well. The images are quite small. So maybe what I'll do is, oh, by the way, I'm going to share these slides with you guys, right? So yeah, I'll share the slide, but that does not mean that you should not write though. Please, 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 please write. Let's make sure that we're not leaving here, because many of the things I'm saying, they are not um written on the slides, right? So please, let's write so that we're gaining value. A case study. Yeah, if you said Indomie, you're absolutely, absolutely correct. So clap for yourself if you said Indomie. Yay! I'm clapping for you. Oh. So one thing that I really, really appreciate Indomie for is Indomie appeals to every of our senses, right? And I remember in the last slide I mentioned to you that branding is about one key hack to branding is making sure that your product appeals to the five senses. Now, one thing that Indomie has successfully done as a brand is they have appealed to our five senses: the sense of sight, smell, hearing, feeling, and tasting. Right? Did I get it? Your eye, your ears, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, and your skin, your feelings, right? So, how did Indomie appeal to all of our five senses? Number one, our sight. Once you see Indomie like this, you already know their brand color: red, yellow, green. You know that that's Indomie noodles, right? You are very aware. There's nobody. If I remove this Indomie logo here, you already know that it's Indomie I'm talking about. That's how they appeal to our sight. How they appeal to our mouth, our taste is, Indomie has a very unique taste, right? There's a way that Indomie makes you just know that Indomie, this is noodles, this is Indomie noodles, this is not mini me, this is not chicken. The smell, again, is another thing, right? The smell is unique. I know that somebody might have a question that, how do I apply this to a brand? Me that I'm not cooking anything, how do I apply it? I'm coming. And then Indomie, how does Indomie apply to your sense of touch, right? What Indomie does with that is that it creates a nostalgic feeling for you, right? Indomie makes you feel like this is what I can eat when there's nothing else. If I'm looking for something to eat now, Indomie is that food for me. Please correct me if I'm wrong, or if you don't resonate with anything I'm saying, let me know. Indomie makes you feel like 2 minutes, and well, it's not 2 minutes. That's it, 5 minutes or 5-10 minutes, and I have something to eat. Food. I don't need to go about beating the bush. Lastly, your sense of hearing. But that's the very popular "Mama do good, oh, you do good." So I was trying to. I did all of this so that you guys know that as a brand, right? One of the best things that you can do for yourself is to the hack appealing to the five senses of people who are your customers, right? So for the person who has a question in his or her heart that, okay, me that I'm not selling food, how do I appeal to my customers? Number one, sight, right? You want to make sure that whenever they see your brand colors, they are able to identify that it is you. If I had shown you that Indomie, that noodles that you saw, and the background was blue, you probably would not have guessed that it was Indomie that was there, right? If I had shown you the noodles and maybe the background was blue, the vegetables on the noodles, they were not there, it was just empty, your mind would not have gone to Indomie at first. Why? Because Indomie has built it in such a way that they've made us understand that their noodles are always colorful, is always rich, even though that's not what's inside. But anytime that they are putting out their imagery, you must see a piece of chicken there, you must see smoke coming out of the noodles, you must see the peas, the red pepper, the green peppers, the sweet corn, and all of that. So for your business now, when you are doing it, tailor your business, do your branding in such a way that when people see it, they know that this is this girl's fashion designing, fashion, what's it called now? I don't know what it's called. Or this is this guy's software energy agency rather. Or this is this girl's bake shop. This is this girl's product. They are able to tell immediately that this is this babe's logo. This is this guy's logo. That site. So for feeling, right? Of course, they cannot touch your service, but what you can do is to create a sense of feeling. I've mentioned this before. Make them feel like if they use your service, that's the best service ever. Make them feel like royalty when they are using your product. This way, they get to have that sense of kingship or sense of uniqueness. They feel like they are the only customer that you are serving in the entire world, even though you have other customers. For hearing, tell them things that encourages them to use your service. Don't just tell them come and use my dry cleaning service. Let them know that dry cleaning, let them know that with your dry cleaning service, they are better able to present themselves in the most confident way possible. Guys, please let me know that you can hear me in the comment section. Let them know that with your dry cleaning service, they can show themselves as confident, trustworthy, bankable, clean people, right? That's for is it for feeling now? Then that's for hearing, right? And then when it comes to smelling, is that's a perception thing, right? So perceive that you are the best business out there. If they are not doing business with you, then who are they doing business with, right? Make them feel like oh, make them feel like if they see this person's products, if I see Gloria's cake now without labeling self, or let's say there's even labeling, I can tell that this is Gloria's cake, right? You know the way somebody will write something and you say, oh, this is this girl's handwriting now. Have that kind of thing. Let them have that perception about you. Make your product look a certain way. This girl's fashion design, this girl's work, whenever she makes clothes for me, her finishing is always good. You will never see a thread hanging. Give them that sense of perception. Let them perceive you as that kind of brand, right? So make sure that your business meets every sense organ, right? And this, I don't mean this literally, especially if you don't have a product that you are selling, especially if you're not selling something edible. So we have a few minutes left. Let me rush through the remaining slides. Finding your own users, right? Finding your own users. So if you're looking for your own users, these are practical ways that I have listed out that you can find your own users. Number one, your customer is not going to come and meet you in your house. So for those of you, should I shout it louder for the people at the back? Your customer is not going to come and meet you in your house. It's not possible. They are not coming to meet you in your house. It's not, that one is not even feasible at all. So you need to make sure that you are going out, you are networking with people, and you are partnering with people. Don't say, oh, I'm a small business, I can't do it. Your friend is doing something. Oh, you know a fashion designer that is doing something, and you bake. No wahala. I will come. Maybe my friend that sells thrift clothes is doing a sale somewhere in Unilag, for example. Nothing too serious. I'll tell her, ah, babe, how far? Can I come with you? And we'll split the payment for the space that you are using. You'll be selling your clothes. Any of your customers that comes to buy from you, they will eat out of my chicken and chips that I made, or I'll give them one cupcake at a discounted price. Partner. You don't have to wait for big businesses. Partner. You have small business around you. You people should think of ideas. Join yourself together with them. Go out like this, network, make sure that people are having a taste of your product or of your service. They are doing a what's it called, a road show. Go there, be there. If you have the finance to do flyers, print cards, identify, be proud of your business, carry your business on your chest, right? Carry your business on your chest. Nobody's going to carry it for you. Number two, online presence. I remember that on the form, I asked how many businesses have an online presence. Some people, funny enough, some people said no, they don't have online presence. Now, when I say online presence, I don't mean that your business, your audience might not necessarily be online, and that's the truth. Some people will not get their clients from social media, but the reason why it's good to have an online presence is because sometimes I can speak for myself. If I want to find out if a business is real, one of the things I do is I go online to check. I can go on Instagram or Twitter, Facebook, wherever it is, and search for that business. And if I don't find you, something in me just tells me, ah, this one is not on social media, then this person might not really be serious, right? So make sure that you have an online presence. If you don't have an online presence, please, I'm begging you, I can kneel down for you now. You can come and see me after this meeting. I will help you. I can help you set up, create that for your business, right? Make sure you have an online presence. Let people find you online. Number three, how to find your own users. Google My Business. Google My Business. As popular as Google My Business is, there are so many businesses that still do not have Google My Business presence, right? You need it. You need it. You need it. You need it too well. Not with the way everything is mapped now. You need it. Even though you don't have a physical store, you need Google My Business. You can come and see me after the class, and then we can talk about setting up a Google My Business account for you. Another way that you can find your own users is via influencer marketing. I know that when I said influencer marketing, your mind must have gone to Taoma or Pamileri or Mr. Macaroni. Nope. If that's what you have in your mind, please remove it from your mind. I'm of the opinion that everybody is an influencer. There's nobody that cannot influence, right? I believe that everybody as an individual has somebody that looks up to them. So if today I use Victor's software, right, and I enjoy it, and I go online and say, wow, I had the best time using Victor's software. If you are looking for a software that can do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, I totally recommend Victor's software. What I have done marketing. So what you want to do is to do your service in such a way that you don't even need to beg your users to to shout out for you. You don't need to beg them to make noise for you because they are so impressed with your service, they will do it by themselves. That's what I call influencer marketing. Remember, we are all small business owners here, so we might not have the big budgets that we are looking for, but this is a sure and fantastic way for you to sell your market. So influencer marketing, if you're selling to people, give them the utmost experience that will make them want to sell your market, carry your market on their head. And then lastly, another way to find your users is by tracking analytics. Tracking analytics. I'm not going to go so deep into this, but for every time that you post on social media, every time you post on your website, if you have one, make sure that you are checking your numbers. This is because your numbers will help you find out what exactly people are looking for on your website or on your social media. If you make a particular post and people are always saving it, you should know that people have interest in that particular post. That's why they saved it, or they found it useful to themselves. That's why they saved it, right? So moving on to still on finding your users, right? A very, very beautiful picture that I want us to paint right here. Look at this picture. Can somebody please tell me what they notice about this picture? Just let me know in the comments. What can you tell just by looking at this picture? They both sew. That's the foundation of it. But what I'm trying to emphasize here is that even though both of them sew, it's easy for you to think they have the same customers, they have the same users, but no, they don't have the same users. The one on the right is the one that we call in Nigeria here, we call them Obioma. They are always walking around from one place to another. While this one is a fashion designer, she has her own shop. Like Victor said, she has structure to her business. Now, the difference is you cannot go and meet an Obioma and tell an Obioma that you want to sew corset dress for an Ashwebi that you have in 3 weeks' time. Do you want to try it? Who wants to try it? Who wants to attempt it? I'm pretty sure that your eyes will see wonders, things that you have never seen before. You would see it, right? And on the flip side, the thing is, you cannot go and meet a fashion designer. It's hard, and tell them that, oh, you just want to sew a patch on your dress, especially a dress that they did not sew by themselves. You will hardly find a tailor that will do that for you. So yes, both of them they sew, but their users are very different. But my point is that even though they do similar things, they have their unique audience. They have people that they are servicing, right? Another example would be Mama Put. No, another example would be KFC and a restaurant. They both sell food, right? They both sell things that people would eat. But the difference is people who are going to KFC know that they are going there to get fast food, food that they will get in less than 10 to 15 minutes. But if you are going to a restaurant, you know that you are going to a place where they are just going to start cooking the food when you place the order. They both sell food, but their audiences are different. So if I'm hungry, I've had a very long day, I'm hungry, I have no business going to a restaurant, right? Because I need to satisfy my hunger immediately. So I would rather go to a fast food, eat, and be on my way home. But if I have a special occasion, I want to feel special, I want to make my husband feel special, or my husband wants to make me feel special, or boyfriend, whatever, girlfriend. Instead of taking them to a fast food, I would rather go to a restaurant, because with a restaurant, I'm waiting. They are cooking the food afresh, and it's an experience, it's an enjoyable experience, because then we get to talk. Nobody is rushing us. The table is not full. They will not say, stand up, or more customers are coming in. No. So everybody has their unique users. They might even be selling the same thing, but you have your unique users. You just need to sit down and find out who your user is. If you need help identifying who your user is, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to have a sit down with you. Moving on to the last thing on our table, the art of content creation. I love this one so much. I love this so much because it's something that I've been teaching for years now, right? And I have a very, very beautiful definition of what content creation is. This is something that I have worked with for years. Content creation is the art of building something important out of something seemingly inconsequential, right? The art of building something important out of something seemingly inconsequential. I know that these days the content creation space is very saturated. Everybody calls themselves content creator. You go online, what do you do for a living? I'm a content creator. What do you sell? I'm a content creator. Everybody says they are doing content. Plus the one that is doing rubbish, oh, the one that is doing something good, oh, everybody is a content creator. But I want you to keep this definition in mind. Content creation is the art of building something important out of something seemingly inconsequential. In my opinion, right, the greatest content creator is God Almighty. And this is why God came, the Bible says in Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, the earth was without form and void, meaning absolutely nothing. It was shapeless, it was formless, right? And then God came and said, let there be light. Meaning that out of nothing, he created something. He built something out of nothing. So think about it this way and apply it to your business. For the baker, you have flour, water, egg, milk, baking soda, and all of those things on your table. If a carpenter comes and sees what is on your table, they won't know what to fix to bring something out of it. But you have the ability to know what kinds of measurements you need for you to make a cake, what kinds you need for you to make a brownie, what you need to add, and all. So you are creating something. You are creating something important. It seem like nothing, right? So just like the way the baker will see a carpenter, will see wood and say, ah, wood, what will I use wood to do? But the carpenter will come and saw it and nail it and shaping it and plane it, and it will come out. He will make a bed frame, a beautiful bed frame out of it. Now, creating content is an art. And in my opinion, everybody can be a content creator. Everybody's a content creator, in short. In short, you go to work every day, you are interacting with bus conductor or your Uber driver, you are creating something, because it's not like in your house you had a preconceived notion of the conversation that was going to happen. No, you came out, somebody asked you a question, and from your mind you were able to give an answer to that question. Everybody can create. So if you've been having problems before, say I don't know how to create content, I want you to kill that mindset now. Say it, type it in the comments. I can create. I'm a content creator. Please type it in the comments. I can create. I am a content creator. I have the ability to create. The mere fact that you are on this call or on this live and you are dropping comments, you are a content creator, because you are creating something. You are typing comments. Another thing about content creation, in my opinion, is that content is everywhere. The day that you bake and your cake burns, that's content. The day you were trying to build a software and you couldn't get the code right and you just went to bed, that is content. The day you you made clothes for your customer and she went to the wedding and she was even looking better than the bride, that is content. Content is everywhere. The day you went to buy material from eco market that you want to use to sew your customers clothes, that the material is you told her to give you doll face, she gave you HQ Mikado. That is content. Content is everywhere. You just need to look and you would see content. There's nothing you cannot make a story out of. There is nothing you cannot make a story out of. Then number three, content is subjective. Something you find interesting might be boring to another person. And that's the truth. And there's really nothing you can do about it, because human beings are different. So you'll find something interesting and that person finds it as a pure waste of time. There's nothing you can do about it. Sometimes you would upload a video that you think people should like, or a reel or a post that you think, oh, everybody should fall in love with it, and then you come back, it's only 2 likes. There's nothing you can do about it. It might not be that that content is not good. It might just be that you're not saying it to the right audience yet, or you are not doing it through the right medium, right? And then lastly, every content has a purpose. I'm telling you guys, there's nothing that you see online that does not have a purpose. Is either that person wants more followers, wants more customers, wants brand awareness, is looking for attention. There is a purpose for that content that you are seeing. It could be for clickbait, but there is a purpose, right? So I want you to apply all of these, right? Every time you're churning out content, whether blogs, whether social media content, whether podcast, whether video content, whether infographics, let it be purposeful. Ask yourself, what do I want to achieve from this? What do I want this content to bring to me? What exactly am I looking out for? What's making me put this content out? Let your content be purposeful. The reason why I'm not telling you things that you ordinarily hear is because you know them already, right? You know, yes, and do real, yes, use trending sounds. All of those things are things that you know already. But I want to tell you things that you might not necessarily know, but you need for your business. So, some hacks for content creation, right? Make your content relatable by speaking the language your audience understands. You guys, there's nobody putting you in a box. If what your audience understands is pidgin, please speak pidgin. If what your audience understands is proper English, please speak proper English, right? Speak like the audience that you are trying to attract, rather. Speak like the audience that you're trying to attract. Number two, highlight their pains and position yourself as the solution provider in whatever content you are creating, whether blog post, video. Make sure that you are letting people know that, hey, this pain, I feel you. So you see, you if you notice, if you use social media very well, you find out that post that starts like post that starts like um um I remember some years ago, one of the things I used to suffer the most from is inferiority complex. I used to feel like people looked better than me. I was always the least dressed. I didn't have any confidence in myself until I started using knee dry cleaners. They helped until I started dry cleaning by myself. I found out that I know how to iron clothes properly. I know how to wash my clothes properly. Every time I wash my clothes, they come out sparkling. I know the right soaps to use. And now I feel much more confident wearing clothes that come from my dry cleaning business. And this is why I'm extending an invitation to you to also come and boost your confidence with me. If you can relate with this pain, if you've ever felt low self-esteem, or you've ever felt inferior when you're standing with other people wearing the same things that you are wearing, I can help you boost your confidence. Come and do your laundry with me today, and your life will never remain the same again. What I've done is I have tried to appeal to your pain point. I've let you see that, hey, you're not alone in this, right? This problem that you are facing now, I've faced it too, and I have come out of it, and I found the solution. I'm offering that solution to you also, right? So that's what you want your business to do also. Another thing is use your brand voice consistently. I've said this before. Don't be happy today and then sad tomorrow. Don't be all energetic today and then tomorrow your brand is sounding dull. If you know you want your brand to be sounding dull, be consistent. Just like Nike, you will never see Nike put up a post that is depressing, except if they are trying to, maybe something happened in the world and they are just trying to sympathize. That's the only time. But even in that sympathy, they still leave you feeling hopeful, because that's what the Nike brand stands for. They give you that sense of you can do it, just do it, you can go for it, right? So choose your brand voice and stay with it. Be clear and concise, no dilly dallying, no beating about the bush. Do whatever it is, say whatever it is you want to say. Be clear. If you want them to buy something from you, say it that you want them to buy something from you. Of course, don't say it just like that. Say it with storytelling, but make sure that that's the point you're trying to make. Always have a call to action. Don't just end with and so I've gained my confidence back. That's me piggybacking on what I was saying before. Never end with that. Say it to them. Now I have much more confidence, and that's why I'm inviting you to come and use my laundry services. That's your call to action. Come and use. To book a session, I don't know what it's called, to book a laundry session with us, send me a DM or click the link in bio. Analyze your content always. Check your analytics. Check your analytics. Make sure you are constantly checking your analytics. Don't just say, oh, the numbers don't count. They actually do count. Check your analytics. The tools for content creation. You can see that I did not write in this place, because it seems to me like everybody seems to think that to be a content creator, you cannot be a content creator without ring light and a soft box and microphone. You must have a podcast. It's not true, right? The tools for content creation. Number one thing you must have for content creation is your mind. Your mind is the most important thing. That's where ideas come from, right? So your mind must be in it, your mind must be in the right place. You must constantly be thinking of new ideas and new ways to communicate with your audience. Number two, your phone or your computer and the internet. Yes, you need a phone, you need or a computer and then internet. Number three, Canva. I put Canva because that's the one I use. There are other tools like Canva that you can use, but this is the one I use and I love it so much. It's what I use to create this slide also. You need scheduling tools like Hotsuite or Hootsuite, because you might not always be around. And if you're trying to build consistency, scheduling tools will help you. There is what's the name of this one that starts with B? Now I've forgotten the name, but there is Hootsuite and a lot of other things. And then you need editing tools like CapCut, like InShot, like Premiere Pro, things help you edit your videos, edit your pictures, and make them look better. So for me, in my opinion, yes, buffer. Thank you so much, Gloria. In my opinion, these are the tools that the basic tools that you need for content creation that will help you. The reason why I didn't put things like light and all of that is because I find that even without light, and before you guys come for me, if there was if we were having this class during the day, right, and there was no light, I would probably just have stayed outside. The only issue would have been the noise outside, right? But if we're having this class during the day, even the natural lighting, sometimes if that's all you have, is enough for you to make great videos. But if you have the finances for it, you can then go on to buy your ring lights, your soft boxes, and all of that. So these are the tools that you need for content creation. And we have come to the end of this class. My goodness. Oh my God. Wow, this is 7:45. I'm so glad that I didn't stay here till 8 o'clock, because I would like for you guys to ask questions if you have any questions. That's all from me. Of course, there's more to all of this, but this is what I can give out for now. Yeah, do you have any questions for me? Please type in the comments. I will be so happy to answer your questions. Thank you so much. Okay, Gloria asked, is it okay to do giveaways if you are looking for customers? Giveaways. So, I don't want to give a yes or no answer, but I want to answer it this way. Giveaways are nice to have, right? They are good. But there's a problem to giveaway, and it's that giveaways do not guarantee you customers, because what happens is people are coming to your page because of what you have to offer them. So because they know that you give free cakes, or you give airtime or credits, or whatever it is that you choose to give for your giveaway, they are coming to you because of what they know they're going to get from you. So these people are not actually customers that are coming to you. It might increase your follower base and all of that, but they are not actually going to be paying customers, right? They will just come to your page, increase your followership, but not convert, because what they are looking out for is what you have to offer them. So I will not readily advise giveaways for small businesses. Honestly, I won't advise it. I don't think it's a good thing to have. Maybe as your business starts to expand, right, you can then start to do giveaways. Except if maybe your giveaway is for people who are already existing customers, right? Yes, you can give them free stuff because you know that these people are loyal to you already. So what that free stuff would mean is that they now become influencers for you. Oh, I got this birthday cake from Gloria, and she sent me 6 free cupcakes or 3 free cupcakes, right? You guys please patronize her. Her cupcakes are amazing. Her cakes are amazing, and she's very fast, and all of that. But I won't recommend giveaways to get customers. No, no, I won't recommend that. Okay. With the current price of raw materials, when telling customers your price and they say they can get it cheaper somewhere else, okay. Is it okay to reduce your price? Is it okay to reduce your price for them or let them go? Okay. So hmm, there's nobody that is not aware of the present situation of things. Let's get over with that, right? There's nobody that doesn't know how things are right now in the market. There's nobody that can come out and say that they are not aware, right? So I strongly believe that, um, first of all, your communication with this customer is important. How do you pass this message that you're trying to pass? How do you let them know that, oh, that this is the price of this thing, right? If you give them explanation, sometimes they will stay, right? But I will not advise reducing your price, and this is why. Because one of the ways that businesses thrive is through referrals, right? So if something is 7,000 naira and you tell the person, okay, I'll do it for you for 5,000 naira, that person would most likely not. If somebody else sees that person with it and wants it, the person would most likely not tell that person that they got it for 7,000. No, most likely tell them that they got it for 5,000 naira, and you just did it out of goodwill, right? So I won't advise reducing your price for a customer like that, especially when it is not a loyal customer, right? If they can get it cheaper elsewhere, I mean, it's all well and good. After all, we had mentioned today that the market is usually very saturated, right? But you are sure that you are not compromising on your quality, and that's why you are selling it at that price. If you're going to maintain a certain quality, then you need to sell it at that price so that you are not reducing in quality, or you are not reducing in quantity. So if it's a first time customer, what I can advise that you do, if you can afford it, and the person says, oh, it's too pricey, they can get it for cheaper somewhere else, right? You can either let the person go, or give the person a small gift to go with it. Now you need to make sure that you are doing this critically. Oh. You are not just making it, you're not doing it for everybody. You are doing it critically. If you sense that this person is somebody who is going to give you return value, the person is going to constantly come back to get from you. It's okay if you can give the person a gift, but make sure that you are calculating it. Whatsoever gift that you are giving should not make you run at a loss. It should not make you run at a loss. And then again, I'll go back to what I said before. Your messaging is very, very important. How are you letting this person know that right now you cannot afford to sell it at a lower price? And it's okay to let customers go. There are more than enough people to come and patronize you. It's okay to let customers go. So be careful of when you are giving discounts. Be careful of when you are giving, gifts, and just generally be careful. That's the kind of advice that I have right now for for you. I hope that that sort of gives you an idea. Yeah, yeah, that's very, very important. Learning how to reply to people. Wow, this light just came on. Learning how to reply to people is very important, because sometimes it's just communication, proper communication, that is lacking. It's not that there's a problem. It's just proper communication that is lacking. I'm grateful. Learned a lot. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you guys so much. I would appreciate it if you guys can send me your comments, your reviews, whatsoever. Help my own small business too. Help my own small business. um yeah, yes, I mean, you can always watch this on my page, even though there are plenty loopholes. I don't know, but you can always watch this on my page. It's public, so yeah, you can watch it on my page. I'm more than happy for you guys to watch it, and feel free to share the video with as many people that you think need the video. Share it with friends, with family. Just let them know that you got some form of value today. Thank you guys so much. I'm grateful. It says, oh, I learned a ton. Thank you too for joining. I'm grateful. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you. You're the best too. I hope you guys are going to church tomorrow. Please make sure that you go to church tomorrow. And yeah, have a very, very wonderful weekend. All right. Bye, guys. I will see you in your emails.